so many more crochet garments out there at the moment.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I do have a little bit of a heads up of what's happening in England.
Yeah.
And crocheting, we won't believe what is going to happen to crocheted garments in the stores in the UK for our summer next year.
Yeah.
Crocheting is going to be the biggest thing, and if you're not wearing something crocheted, just wish you could.
Yeah.
They can't get enough crocheters in China to make the garments,
Right.
and I have that from a very, very reliable source. We were going to launch that in the big magazine article later on February, but we can launch it here now. And I think crocheting, people will want to be crocheting. They'll be able to see that, you know, what it costs you $129, you can make for $20 out of cotton.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll see. The reason that I learned to crochet was because everything was fashionable in crocheting when I was a girl.
Yeah.
And there were patterns everywhere. There were wedding gown patterns on the front covers of magazines.
Some of those gorgeous crocheted wedding gowns.
And we haven't had any patterns. We haven't had the support. We haven't had any motivation for anyone to write a pattern like that. And we're going to see that this time next year.
Well, that's exciting.
Oh,
thanks for the scoop.
I'm actually so delighted, and I probably shouldn't have said anything.
No, that's okay.
I really think that
I'm
it's
sure
time for
your viewers will
everyone
be
to
very encouraged.
get the hooks out, dust them off, and we're really going to see something exciting happening.
There we go. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. You've got to get into crocheting. If you haven't learned to crochet, come on into American Yarns and pick up a hook, and we'll get you on your way. So, all right. Moving on to the next part of our interview. You've talked a lot about the things that you do enjoy with crochet. Is there anything that you don't enjoy?
I don't enjoy having to do something twice.
Right.
Probably that's the designer in me, because as soon as I pick up a hook, I think it just opens the brain to the next idea, and I am surrounded with lots of balls of yarn, and I go, I'm ready for the next project before I finish the first one.
I think that's a common experience with a lot of people. You have a huge basket full of whips or UFOs, and
so for me it's probably doing it the second time, especially if it's a large project, because I'm ready to move on. Unless it's something that's repetitive, I can just do in front of telly, and it's my chilling out in the evening project.
I find that crochet patterns that require sewing up under the arms or down the front or somewhere.
Okay.
That doesn't happen very often, because it's a lot easier to crochet in the round than it is to knit in the round. And a lot of people are very used to knitting pieces and then having to sew them up. But in crochet, because most of the crochet patterns I've ever made, garments particularly, you often crochet just in one piece. So there is no sewing up. So if I find an old pattern and that tends to be more of a recent thing, some of my vintage crochet patterns have a lot of sewing up. Whereas most of the modern patterns I've seen now tend to eliminate that need. So yeah, that's the thing I don't like about crochets. And knitters will probably agree with me, sewing up, everyone hates it.
I was going to see if that garment actually has the seam that I think it has. This has got a crochet seam in it, which is what the Asians do. I've noticed Asian garments, and they have a double crochet, then 5 chain, move somewhere up in the garment, do another double crochet, probably an inch and a half, centimetre and a half apart. And if you wanted to, we could get a close up of that top. And it's crocheted together. Can I use it? And I thought, well, we really want that same reason. Everyone hates doing it, and they'll leave perfectly good garments that are completely made except for the sewing up, not done. So I just figured if you could crochet them together really easily. So I tried to introduce that and a couple of other newer patterns I've had in Yarn magazine.
Well, in a moment I'll take it off and we'll do a bit of a close up, and we'll come back to that. So thank you. Now, of all the designs that you've made over the years, do you have a particular favourite or something that stands out, or something that you really enjoy making and make a lot of?
I suppose I love my flowers, and I'm not a real floral person, but I had a pansy top, and I taught the perfect pansy passion. I called it that because it was needed to be completely over the top. And I teach that because it's a great way to teach people how to read a pattern. It's small enough, and by the time they finish the class, they have a pretty little pansy. And I think everyone's emotionally involved with pansies. I don't know why they have.
Are they double flowers, the pansies, with the outer petals and the inner petals?
It's got the 5 petals, but they're all worked in one round. But there is a 3D aspect to it. Yeah, so I just I did a pansy top, and I teach that a lot. So the flowers do do it for me. I did do my own wedding dress though. I did crochet my own wedding dress.
That's amazing.
And wore it, but unfortunately it was after the fashion of crocheted wedding dresses. And my mother went, "Oh, you're not." And I went, "Yeah, I am. But if it's no good, then we'll just go and buy something." Sure. And so I did, and I wore it, and it was beautiful. And it was in DMC Article 173.
Wow,
yeah.
Amazing. That would have been beautiful. Okay, now what advice do you have for new crocheters or people who are just coming into the craft?
Oh, to make something that you love. I don't think anything is difficult if you really, 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 really want to make it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably it. A lot of people come into the shop and they go, "Well, start with something easy." And I go, "Well, what do you want to start?" If it's too difficult and it's only going to cause a frustration, I won't do it. But I know my first bikini, I didn't know how to increase or decrease, and I ran around the caravan park until I found someone who could show me how to do that stitch. Yeah. So I think that if you have that, I think that's always good. If it's something they really love, then they'll go to any lengths to do it.
They'll stick at it.
Yeah, as long as we're not talking a huge blanket, or something that is achievable. Yeah,
something simple.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll move on now and take a close up of the top that I'm wearing.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. One, you're in. Right, here's where I did the seam, and if you look at it sideways, you can see that there's a double crochet or single crochet for Americans. The 3 chains, I think I must have done there, another single crochet through both thicknesses, right along the side seam, quick as anything, not a problem.
And that's the inside, so when you look at it from the outside, it's indistinguishable from the pattern. You can, if you look closely, if you know what you're looking for, you can see the seam down the side. But that's most of the time that's hidden under the arms anyway. So
and I don't think anyone's going to go, "Oh my goodness, how have you joined that?"
Exactly.
As long as it's joined, means it's done, and it was done in about 3.5 seconds, which is great.
So that's the top that I was wearing earlier. Okay, thank you. And thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, Jenny. I'm sure our viewers were really interested to learn more about you and your passion for crochet. And if viewers would like to, are in Brisbane, they can come into American Yarns to see us here at Shop 1, 265 Blaker Road, Groveley. If you'd like to go and pay a visit to Jenny on the Sunshine Coast, whereabouts are you, Jenny, your street address?
We're at, it's Shop 1, not 2 apparently, Shop 1, 932 David Low Way. You just go past the airport at Marcoola, you'll find us. We're right beside the Bendigo Bank. Okay, and Sunshine Coast is about an hour north of Brisbane, for those of you who are out of town. And to see Jenny on the web, it's www.jennykingdesigns.com.au. No AU. No AU, just jennykingdesigns.com. Okay. And Americans don't know anything about AUs. No. So, and American Yarns, of course, is americanyarns.com.au. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope you've learned something new and interesting about Jenny King. Thank you and have a good day. Thank you.